Welcome to the Visual Debugger tool demonstration. The Visual Debugger is a plugin for IntelliJ IDE, but can also be used with Android Studio. To use the Visual Debugger, first you have to install it. You can do so by navigating to the marketplace and then searching for Visual Debugger. In my case, the Visual Debugger is already installed. Then you need some source code to debug. You can also use the test case in the repository of the Visual Debugger if you want, or you can use your own source code. Then you just put a breakpoint as usual. I will put it in line 14 here. And then you start debugging. Now, as usual, the textual debugging view will come up, provided by IntelliJ, where you can look at your debugging variables textually, but also provided by the debugger, a new view is added, which we will now use to explore what the Visual Debugger can do. First of all, you have to activate your Visual Debugger. In this case, we have to navigate to this website here. I've already navigated to it, and there we see the same information as we've seen textually earlier here, graphically in an object diagram. The root object folding wall table here on the left is also present on the right in the Visual Debugger. And we can see that our visualization even goes one level deeper by default, showing the next object, the children of this folding wall table. If you want to see more objects, you can configure this using the Visual Debugger settings. In the settings, there's a setting for the initial visualization depth. If we change this to 2, we can see that from our root object, we will now have 2 levels deep of information going even through to this component here at the bottom. Let's quickly change it back. Now, if we step through the debugger, our Visual Debugger will also update, and we can see that it has the same information, the same 4 components in the texture view we also have here on the right graphically. And if we want to see more information about one of these objects here on the bottom, as we do it on the left by double-clicking, we can also double-click on the right on the Visual Debugger. So now if I double-click, we will load one more level of information for this specific object. And that's basically how the Visual Debugger works. It works just as the textual debugger. We're now using just graphs to visualize our information a bit more concise. And we can also, of course, here look at the sub-information for the other objects. And then while you're debugging, while you're stepping through, the visualization always is updated live. Now, if you find a situation where a bug has occurred and you want to document this situation, the Visual Debugger also helps you on that. You can download what you've seen here in the visualization as an SVG image. And then you can attach that to some other software or send it as an email to someone. And then, of course, you can also download it as an XML file and change this visualization later on. Change the visualization maybe to show the situation which should have occurred, not the wrong situation. You can use the object diagram modeler, which is another tool I've programmed, and you can upload your XML file there. And then here you can add more objects to the visualization, change their names, change their attributes, and add links between them as you like. And then, of course, you can export it again as an SVG or an XML file to use it somewhere else.